Let's go out to Boulder. We're talking Colorado Buffs recruiting, Colorado primetime matchup against Cincinnati. Now, Steve, I don't know what a primetime matchup in Cincinnati means for you. I don't know if you'll be awake for that one. I mean, it's a 7:15.
Of course I'll be awake.
It's a 7:15 kick in Boulder. It's going to be electric. I'm glad you're going to be watching. I'm going to be watching, and there's going to be a ton of recruits on the sidelines for this one. So, before we even get into the weekend, you already put in an expert prediction on the recruiting prediction machine for a target that's going to be on campus this weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, four-star receiver Adrian Wilson will take his official visit to Colorado this weekend. Decommitted from Arizona State on Wednesday. This one is definitely trending towards the Buffaloes. The air raid offense is what really excites him about the potential of playing at Colorado. He's built a good relationship with receivers coach Phillips. He's excited to get out there, spend some time with guys like Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, see that atmosphere on Saturday night, a big game against Cincinnati. And if this visit goes well, I fully expect him to ultimately be in this Colorado class.
Sounds like it could go down this weekend.
You know, I'm not sure what his timeline is. I just think that Colorado is clearly the program to beat. He's taking this official visit to learn more about the school. And this is a guy who's having a great senior year, Josh, averaging over 20 yards per catch as a senior, a guy that's really elevated his game, a big-time playmaker in the Lone Star State, someone Colorado's trying to add to Quanell Farrakhan, who's also in the fold.
And he might not be the last one out of the state of Texas, because Quentin Gibson is also coming in on an official visit. Tell us about the speedster out of the Longhorn State.
Dude, Quentin Gibson's having a fantastic senior year for North Crawley High down there in Fort Worth, averaging 25 yards a catch. He's got 20 receptions. He's put 10 of those in the end zone. He's kind of a mighty mite. His game reminds me of Rondell Moore from Purdue. But he's going to visit Colorado this weekend as well. Similar to Adrian Wilson, just loves his potential in that offense. Looks forward to seeing more. He's got a future official visit scheduled with Washington State in November, TCU, Mississippi State, some of the other programs showing interest. But this one also seems to be trending well for Colorado.
All right, now let's talk about this USC Trojan commitment. No, not that one. I want to talk about offensive tackle Carty Smith first. All right, Carty Smith took a visit to Colorado a couple weeks ago, really sparked his interest, and he's going to be back on campus this weekend. It would be a huge flip at a position in need for Colorado. So what are you hearing on Carty Smith heading into the Colorado visit?
Well, this is his second Colorado game visit of the fall, and there was a lot of excitement around his first visit to campus. He really talked about the brotherhood and family feel of the program. Obviously, he has an opportunity to be a day one player in the starting lineup at Colorado. I think that's also attractive to him. USC's doing what they can to keep him in the fold, but Coach Lodeholt during the bye week went out and saw him. Colorado is full speed ahead here, and I think there's some folks that spent time with him in Boulder on his first visit that feel good about it. He had a great time. His family had a great time. I think Colorado's really building momentum with Carty Smith.
All right, now let's get to that USC commitment. What's up with Julian Lewis? Is the quarterback going to be on campus this weekend?
Well, we'll see. This is a visit that Colorado's been pushing for on their end. And if he does visit Colorado this weekend, it'll be his fourth time on campus this calendar year. Longtime USC commit, been to 2 USC games this fall. People that spent time with Julian Lewis during his visits to USC feel good about him sticking with the Trojans, but the door is obviously still open to Colorado and Indiana as communication remains with both of those programs. Indiana at the last minute tried to get him to campus for the win over Nebraska last Saturday. The Michigan game was always the target return visit to Indiana for him and some of his teammates later in the season. But this Colorado visit for Cincinnati's been on the radar for a long time. The opportunity to be the day one starter of all of his finalists is probably best at Colorado. So I think that's something that's important to Julian Lewis. Seeing Shedeur Sanders, the star that he really has become at Colorado from an NIL perspective, is certainly another exciting component. He's had some really good conversations with offensive coordinator Coach Shermer. He's seen Colorado practice. He's obviously watching him play. It's an offense where the quarterback has really shined this fall. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders is in the mix for all the major quarterback awards this year. So Colorado's got a lot of things they can point to in the recruitment of Julian Lewis. And there's been a lot of rumblings behind the scenes for weeks that he would be at this Cincinnati game. So we'll see if he's in Boulder for the night game. The logistics for Indiana last week, noon game. He had a game on Friday night. Tough to make. This is a Colorado game that kicks off at 10:15 Eastern time. So getting from Atlanta to Boulder should be no problem.
All right. So if he doesn't make it to Colorado this weekend, is that telling? Does it mean that it's time for Colorado to maybe look at another option at quarterback besides Julian Lewis?
I would say so, but I think even regardless, and they know this, they've been kicking tires on other quarterbacks and looking around too. Look, there's no question Julian Lewis is their top quarterback target at the position, but they may not sign him. And
Right.
So they need a high school quarterback this cycle. I think they need to go into the portal as well to replace Shedeur Sanders. But a high school quarterback this cycle, very important to them after not signing one in 2025. So I think that they should kick some tires on some other guys. Obviously, they went out and saw Keelan Russell during the bye week. I'm sure they're watching film of other guys, but Julian Lewis is the one that they've wanted and coveted and have had a long-standing relationship with, and they'll certainly keep pushing there.
All right, so heading into this weekend, Adrian Wilson is not your only new Colorado prediction. What's happening with your pick regarding Christian Hudson?
Well, he was on campus for the win over Baylor. Current UCF commit, has a great relationship with guys like Devin Rispris, one of their ace off-field recruiters. But he had a fantastic visit, and as time has continued from his official visit to now, I think things continue to pick up with Colorado, and I ultimately think he'll be in the Buffaloes class and not in UCF's.
All right, Colorado fans, talk to us. Comment section below. How are we feeling about this Cincinnati game? And also, how are we feeling about recruiting? Do you think Julian Lewis will show up this weekend? Let us know. Comment section below.